Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Woodbine Racetrack here on Saturday to September the 15th, 2018. I'm going to look at all the stakes races on today's program from Woodbine, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. Great card today from Woodbine. I'm going to look at all the stakes races 6, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Let's get on to it. There's also an all-stakes pick 4 beginning with the race number 8, 200,000 guarantee, which is very hittable. We'll get to that in a second. We're going to start off with race number 6 now. The first stakes race on the program. It's the Sweet Briar 2 Stakes. Purse $100,000. This race is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 8 horses going to the post. A distance of ground of 1,300 meters, or the distance of ground is 6.5 furlongs on the all-weather poly track. 1,300, 6.5. And I show the diagram. Just gives me a second to look at them, and just bear with me. My top selection here. I like the number 3 horse. The 3 horse Silent Sonnet. Gonna go 3-8-1 in the tricast of the trifecta. 3-8-1 tricast trifecta. Top selection of 3 horse Silent Sonnet. 4-year-old filly by Silent Name. Luis Contreras is on this one for Nicolas Gonzalez. The horse's most recent outing came the 11th of August. That came at Woodbine on the E.P. Taylor Turf course. Miles 16th in the Victorina Stakes. This horse finished 6th by 8 lengths. You know, it was with the pace setters early on, and then he just kind of hit the wall. Couldn't keep up with them at the end. I think the route distance wasn't to his liking. I think coming back to the Tapeta you know, sprinting one turn, he should really do a lot better. Before that, Woodbine, 7 furlongs in the Zabrokrata Stakes, July the 1st. Hopefully I said that right. This horse won by 1.25 lengths there, and even from the wide post draw, he just took off clear on the front end and had a very good victory there. And then before that, in the Bedell Stakes at Woodbine, 6 furlongs, May the 20th. Horse finished 4th by 3.25 lengths there. He stalked most of the race. He didn't weaken out of it, but he didn't quicken up either. He just kind of stayed. And then before then, in the Grade 3 Whimsical at Woodbine, 6 furlongs opening weekend. Horse finished 5th by 2 lengths. He needed the race. He had a little bit of traffic trouble, but I think coming back to the all-weather, again, you know, with a good poster at 6-1, I think this horse could really run a big one, so he'll be my top selection. So to recap my selection for the 6 from Woodbine, it's the Sweet Briar 2 Stakes. I'm going to go with the 3 horse Silent Sonnet as a top selection. I'm going to go 3-8-1 in the tricast of the trifecta. So now let's get on to race number. The 8th race from Woodbine. It's the feature race of the afternoon. It's the Woodbine Mile Grade 1 race going for a purse of $800,000. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 9 horses going to the post. Distance of ground of 1,600 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile on the E.P. Taylor Turf course. 1,600, 1 mile, E.P. Taylor lawn. Top selection here. I like the number, where are we? I like the 3 horse Delta Prince as a top selection. Gonna go 3-6-1 in the tricast of the trifecta. 3-6-1 tricast trifecta. In my pick 4, I'm gonna go 3 deep here. I think it's a very wide open race. The first horse I'm talking about is my top selection, the 3 horse Delta Prince. 5-year-old horse by Street Cry. Javier Castellano gets leg up for Jimmy Jerkins. The horse's most recent outing came out the 11th of August at Saratoga. 1 mile inner turf course in the 4-star Dave. This horse finished 2nd by a neck there. You know, he closed up well from mid-pack. You know, he got beat by Voodoo Song, who ran a good race on the front end, and this horse, he ran a good race at the end. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't a bad run closing up. Before that, in the King Edward Stakes here at Woodbine, 1 mile, June the 30th, the horse won by 1.75 lengths. He didn't break all that well. It was a little bit wide, but he took a good advantage of the 2 furlongs straight away. Closed up well to get the victory. Good race off a little bit of a break, or excuse me, a lot of bit of a break. Before that, we're in the 4th of September at Saratoga, yielding ground a mile 16th in the Bernard Baruch handicap. He finished 3rd by 2.5 lengths, and very wide, and he had a little traffic trouble, and he just couldn't keep up with them. You know, it just wasn't the day to win. And then before that, he ran at Saratoga, about a mile on the inner turf course, an optional 6-2 claim. A horse won by 3.25 lengths, stalked, took off on the lead, and then just won for fun. Very good race. I like him a lot here. 5-2. I know it's a crap price, but he should run well. A horse you definitely want to use on your pick 4. Another horse I'm going to use here is the 6 horse Lord Glitters. I think he is good enough to win. This 5-year-old gelding by Whipper. This French bred getting Lasix for the first time. Keep that in mind. Jamie Spencer gets leg up for David O'Mara, sending this one in from England to run. The horse's most recent appearance came the 25th of August at York during the Ebor meeting, a mile and the 16th in the Strenstall Stakes. This horse won by 3/4 length there. He sat a little bit closer, quickened up nicely on the front end, and he just took off clear. By the way, the second place finisher, Mustari, is a horse I really like today at Doncaster in the 225, I believe, or the second race. Go bet him there. He's 7-2. He looks a very live horse. But this horse, he beat Mustari very nicely that day at York. Before that, in the Group 1 Sussex Stakes at Goodwood, 1 mile August 1st. The horse finished third by 2 lengths there. He sat close early on. He just couldn't get the good closing kick at the end. It just wasn't the day to win there. And then at Ascot, the Summer Mile, July the 14th, going a mile, quite firm ground. He finished second by a neck. Didn't break all that well. A little bit of a turn of foot. He just missed, but he ran a good effort. And then before that, in the Queen Anne at Royal Ascot, he finished second by half length at 20-1 on the front end. He just missed. The winner accidental agent ran a hell of a race. Don't even know how he won that day, but this horse, ran a good race there off a little bit of a break. Before that, he ran a good second place finish in the Lincoln Mile at Doncaster during the opening meeting. I think here, his first visit to North America, I think he'll do well. 4-1, a horse you definitely want on your multi-race ticket. And I think another horse I'm going to use on my multi-race ticket, or definitely going to use on my multi-race ticket, is the one horse, Good Samaritan, 4-year-old colt by Harlan's Holiday. Joel Rosario gets the leg up on this one for Bill Mont. This horse is stepping on turf for the first time in about 14 months, but his most recent outing came out in the dirt at Saratoga, 4th of August, a mile and 1/8 on the slop and the Whitney Handicap. He finished 5th by 16 lengths there, first time and probably last time on the wet track. Wasn't handling it, deep closers, getting a lot of dirt into his face. It just wasn't the day to win. Before then, the Grade 1 Met Mile at Belmont, 1 mile June 9th. He finished 7th by 7/4 lengths. A little bit of a turn of foot at the end, but again, it wasn't the day to win. He likes a 2-turn race when it comes to dirt, because he could get every good advantage. He could get a good advantage of it, but 1 turn wasn't to his liking. And then before then, the Alashiba, he finished 3rd. Wasn't the day to win, but his only victory so far in 2018 came in the New Orleans Handicap at the Fairgrounds. He won it by 2.5 lengths, closed up well, took good advantage of the quarter-mile run-in. An easy race. He hasn't been seen on the turf since July the 8th of 2017. That came here in New York at Belmont. Mile quarter in the Belmont Derby. He finished 4th by 3 lengths there. Didn't break all that well, but he had a decent turn of foot for, he got 4th on a race course that does not play towards closer. The winner Oscar Performance ran a hell of a race on the front end, but this horse, ran his heart out there, closing up well. And then the Pennine Ridge at Belmont, a mile and 1/8 on the inner turf. He finished second by 1.5 lengths, again behind Oscar Performance, who's actually running this one today. He ran on the front end Oscar Performance. This horse, a decent turn of foot from the back of the pack. This turf course is a lot fairer than the Belmont Inner Turf course. Closers can win here, and I think at 10-1, he's a horse. He's been training well back on the turf. I think he'll really run a big one. A horse I'm using on the multi-race. So to recap my selections for the 8th from Woodbine, it's the Grade 1 Woodbine Mile. Top selection, going to use the 3-horse Delta Prince. Going to go 3-6-1 in the tricast, or the trifecta. I'll go 3-6-1 in the pick 4. To race number 9 from the 9th race from Woodbine, it's the Canadian Stakes presented by the Japan Racing Association. Grade 2, purse $250,000. This race is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 8 horses going to the post, distance of ground of about 1,800 meters, with a distance of ground of about 1 mile and 1/8 on the E.P. Taylor turf course. About a mile and 1/8. My top selection in this race, I like the 3-horse Inflexibility. I'm going to go 3-5-8 in the tricast of the trifecta. 3-5-8 tricast trifecta. Top selection of 3-horse Inflexibility will be used on my pick 4 along with the 5-horse New Money Honey. But the first horse we talk about is my top selection, the 3-horse Inflexibility. 2-1, 4-year-old Fleet by Scatnadadhi. Jose Ortiz gets the leg up for Chap Brown. The horse's most recent appearance came at Arlington, a mile of 3/16 in the Grade 1 Beverly D a few weeks ago. This horse finished 5th by 2 lengths. He sat a little bit closer from a wide postra, and, in the stretch run, he just got overtaken by Sister Charlie. The closers got to him. It wasn't the day to win. Before that, here at Woodbine in the Dan Smartley, a mile and a quarter, June the 30th, on Queen's Plate Day, this horse finished second by a half length. Sat closer to the front end, setting the pace early on, a little bit wide into the straightaway. She got caught by Santa Monica, who's a really good Chad Brown horse also. But, this horse ran her heart out there and first started off a little bit of a break. And then before that, Belmont, a mile 16th in the Bugay. Horse finished second by 3 lengths. A little bit of traffic trouble. She didn't have traffic. She could have won. Finished second by 3 lengths. It wasn't a bad race after all said and done. This horse hasn't won since the Carotene, which came on this turf course last October here at Woodbine. Mile and 8th. Horse won by a neck, really closing up from mid-pack. A good race. She's had experience on this turf course also. 3-2. She won that last race, and then she won the Wonderwear back in 2017 here at Woodbine very easily. I like this horse a lot here today. I think she'll run well. 2-1, it's a crap price, but she's a horse. She should, like I said, she should do well. Used on the multi-race along with the 5-horse New Money Honey, 5-2, 4-year-old filly by Medaglia de Oro. Javier Castellano gets leg off Chad Brown. I think it's going to be a Chad Brown race here, but the horse's most recent outing came opening weekend at Saratoga, 21st of July, a mile and 8th in the Diana handicap. This horse finished 6th by 2.5 lengths, was very wide and just never had the good kick. It wasn't the day to win. Before that at Belmont, mile 16th, Ops Lady Claimer. First start off the break, she did everything right. She won by a neck. She stalked that day, got the lead, and then she took off. Very good victory. And then before that, she ran at Santa Anita on the 30th of December. Mile and quarter in the American Oak. She finished 4th by 2.5 lengths. She set the pace early on, but then she got caught by a deep closer, Daddy's Little Darling. This horse wasn't catching her. She's making the Woodbine debut today. I think sitting a little bit closer, she should really do well. And I think off the break, a little bit of a break, I think she's a horse that's going to do well. A horse I'll definitely use on the multi-race. So to recap my selection for the night from Woodbine, it's the Grade 2 Canadian Stakes. As a top selection, I'm going to go with the 3-horse Inflexibility. I'm going to go 3-5-8 in the Tricast. So the trifecta, I'll go 3-5 in my pick 4. To race number 10 from Woodbine, it's the Bold Venture Stakes, Grade 3 purse, $125,000. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 10 horses going the distance of ground of 1,300 meters, with the distance of ground of 6.5 furlongs on the all-weather Tapeta surface. 1,300, 6.5 Tapeta. My top selection, and this horse I'm going to single in the multi-race because I think you have to single somewhere, and this is the logical single in my eyes. It's going to be the 6-horse King Sports. Going to go 6-9-3 though in the superfecta, in the trifecta. 6-9-3 Tricast trifecta, but a single in the multi-race would be the 6-horse King Sports. 6-year-old horse by Milwaukee Brew. Patrick Husbands gets leg up for Sitatard. The horse's most recent outing came the 29th of August at Woodbine. A mile 16th in the Ellen Stakes, or Arlene, pardon me if I mispronounced the race name wrong, but that day, going a mile 16th, the horse won by 1.5 lengths. In a small field, set some easy fractions, and you just walk there. Very good race on the lead all throughout. First start off a little bit of a break also. Before that, ran the 8th of July at Woodbine, 6.5 furlongs in the Shepherdtown Stakes. The horse won by 1.5 lengths there, and sat towards the back of the pack, but had a great turn of foot to get there. Good race there. And then before that, in the Steady Growth Stakes at Woodbine, mile 16th, June the 16th, horse finished 4th by 7.75 lengths. Didn't have the best of trips, a lot of traffic trouble, and he never got the good closing kick. And then before that, in the Lounge Race at Woodbine, mile 16th, May the 5th, horse finished 4th by 4.75 lengths. Again, didn't break all that well, and it was just done early. He won his final race in 2017, the Woodbine, here at Woodbine in the Sir Barton. He won by 2.5 lengths, closed up from mid-pack, a really good effort. He likes this distance. He's 3-2 at it, and I think he'll run well. 3-1, single in the multi-race. So to recap my selections for the 10th from Woodbine, it's Grade 3 Bull Venture Stakes. Gonna go with the 6-horse King Sport. Gonna go 6-9-3 in the Tricast of the trifecta. So good luck. So now let's get on to race number 11 from Woodbine. The 11th race from Woodbine, it's the Northern Dancer Stakes, Grade 1 purse, $300,000. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards, kind of the local prep race for the Canadian International coming up in a few weeks' time. But we have 10 horses here going the distance of ground of 2,400 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/2, one lap around the E.P. Taylor turf course. 2,400 meters, a mile and a half, E.P. Taylor lawn. My top selection here, I like the 1-horse Mikatel. Hopefully I said that right. I'm going to go 1-5-3 in the Tricast or the trifecta. 1-5-3 Tricast trifecta. Top selection, the 1-horse Mikatel. He'll be used on the multi-race along with the other 3 I have here. But Mikatel, 7-2, 5-year-old horse by See the Stars. Jose Ortiz gets leg up for Grand Motion. The horse's most recent outing came the 22nd of July here at Woodbine, a mile and a half in the Grade 2 Nijinsky. The horse finished second by a half length there, didn't break all that well, but closed up well from the back of the pack. He just missed, but he ran a good effort. Today, if he sits a little bit closer, I think he can get the victory, but that was a very good race off the break. Before that, he ran the 30th of September here in New York at Belmont, a mile and a half in the Turf Classic Invitational. He finished 10th by 14 and a quarter lengths. You know, first start with Lasix, he never really got the good run. It wasn't the day to win. And then before that, in the Arlington Million at Arlington, a mile and a quarter, August the 12th, horse finished 10th by 3 3/4 lengths. Wide post run, just had nothing. It wasn't the best day to win. No Lasix also. But before that, ran in the UK in the Prince of Wales at Royal Ascot, a mile and a quarter, June the 21st. Horse, he finished 6th by 3 1/4 lengths. Very tough Prince of Wales in 2017. You know, Highland Real won. Decorated Knight was a really good horse, who I believe went on to win the Irish Champions. And then Ulysses, a very good horse, finished third one next start out. This horse just wasn't keeping up with them. But before that, this horse ran at Chantilly in the Prix d'Espagne, where this horse won by a neck, sat close on the front end, quickened up nicely, very easy victory. He's going to like the going here today. He's a good post draw, and I expect him to run well. I think second off the break, watch out for him. I think the 5-horse Hawkbill will run a big one also. Jamie Spencer rides this one for Godolphin and Charlie Appleby. I don't, you don't hear that a lot, Charlie Appleby and Godolphin with Jamie Spencer, but they wanted a UK rider here, and he was the one coming in to ride the other horse, so why not him? But he's getting the first mount on this one. His most recent outing Hawkbill came at Sandown, July the 7th in the Coral Clips. He finished 4th by 4 lengths there. He set the pace early on, but then he just hit the wall. He got overtaken by Roaring Lion and Saxon Warrior. Those two horses are actually running today in the Irish Champions at Leopardstown, and both have very live chances. And, but that back in the Eclipse, this horse just wasn't catching him. Roaring Lion, to keep in mind, won next start out in the Jumpman International at York a few weeks ago. He's probably the best horse on turf at a mile and a quarter, Wrong Lying at the moment. But this horse, he just wasn't catching him. And plus, I think this horse's better distance is a mile and a half. Before then, the Prince of Wales at Royal Ascot, mile and a quarter, June the 20th. His horse finished third by 10 1/4 lengths. He sat close early on, but then he hit the wall. Poet's Word ran a hell of a race. Cracksman, he never really concentrated into the race. This horse, just never ran. It really wakened out of it. It wasn't the day to win. And then the Coronation Cup at Epsom, mile and a half, June the 1st. Horse really ran a crap race. Cracksman, he finally got the victory, but it wasn't his most impressive victory. This horse, just really hit the wall going up the hill. And then before then, this horse won the Shihima Classic at Maidan very nicely by 3 lengths. And won the City of Gold, the local prep race for the Shihima Classic, very nicely. He ran this race last year. He finished second by a head. He set the pace most of the race, got caught right at the wire by Johnny Bear, but he ran his heart out. I think coming back to a mile and a half for the first time in quite a while on drier ground, I expect this horse to run well. 2-1 ship price, but he should really do well, so watch out for him. And I think the 3-horse Utmost should run well. 4-year-old colt by Giants Causeway. Alan Garcia gets the leg up for Grand Motion. This horse ran the Sky Classic here at Woodbine a few weeks ago, mile 3/8 on the lawn, where he won by a length that day. He stalked most of the race up until the stretch run, and then he took off. A very good victory. Before that, Cape Pendleton at Delaware, mile and a half, July the 7th. First start stateside, first start in a few months. He needed the race. He finished third by 3/4 length. He set the pace early on, and then he just kind of weakened out of it. Like I said, he needed the race. And then before that, he ran the all-weather middle distance championship at Linkfield, mile and a quarter, March the 30th. Finished 6th by 4 1/4 lengths. Then break all that well, stalked early on from a wide poster, and then he just weakened out of it. It wasn't the day to win, but I think coming here a mile and a half, again at Woodbine, he should really run well. 4-1, I'll give him a chance on the multi-race. But to recap my selections for the 11th from Woodbine, it's Northern Dancer Turf Stakes. Gonna go as top selection to 1-horse McCottle. Gonna go 1-5-3 in the TriCast of the trifecta. I'll go 1-5-3 in the pick 4 to end it off. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world.